Which one would you choose? Jordan 1 Mid Bred or Jordan 1 Mid Royal? I'll let the viewers decide. Red versus blue, man. Starting to remind me of the 90s. Romeo the Retro got back with another review, and on today's episode we're going to be taking a detailed look and comparison between the Jordan 1 Bred and the Jordan 1 Royal. A shootout comparison between these two, just like I told you so. Which one of these two is better? There are slight differences in the build quality, and I'm going to let you guys know exactly what those are. Make sure you guys stay subscribed up, hit the notification bell and all that. You already know, because I'm about to lay it down, son. Nike and Jordan Brand shooting up the gym with these colorways, bro. The dunk highs, dunk lows, Jordan 1 lows, Jordan 1 mid highs. Woo! We're going to be doing a shootout between the Jordan 1 Mid Bred and the Jordan 1 Mid Royal. We're going to find out what the difference is in build quality and which one might be right for you. So stay tuned, and I'm going to have some B-roll for you guys at the end of the video. Make sure you guys don't buy them before you watch this. Hey, yo, which one should I get, dog? You know what I'm saying? I only got so much money. Which one of these fire colorways should I get? I'm going to get a little bit closer in the cam so you guys can see these, and let's go do that right now. All right, sneaker family. Yeah, let's get into these mids and the differences between the two. There are some slight differences in the build quality, obviously, so we're going to check them out for you. Let's just take a look at the uppers. I would say that looking at the two, the Royal actually has a tumbled upper. The leather here, as you can see, is actually a lot more tumbled than on the Bred version. As you can see here, you have a nice amount of tumbling on the black panels of the upper and the eye stay section, as well as the toe box cover section there. And if you take a look at the Breds, you can see that it's a smooth leather and it's not as tumbled, although we do have some tumbling here on the check mark, and that's the same for the Royal version. The Royal version also has a tumbling on the check mark. As you can see here, it's a very smooth, it's not the same texture as the Royals. So as you can see here, again, I'll show you, you see the Royals here, the Hyper Royals I should say, and it has a lot more tumbling on it. Now the actual feel of the shoe is such where the cuts of leather, I feel like, are thicker on the Hyper Royal shoes, and just in general the leather cuts are a little bit thicker. The thickness of the check mark is actually a bit thicker on the Royals as well, and I just feel like they used a little bit more material on the Royals as opposed to the Breds here, just for whatever reason. I'm not sure if it's just the cut of leather that they had to use, and to tell you the truth, it feels like a heavier shoe. It feels slightly heavier. Like if I'm physically to weigh it, and I'm pretty sure I'd feel like this is going to be the heavier shoe for whatever reason. I do enjoy the feel of the tumbled leather. The shoe feels a little bit more solid, but I do like the feel of the premium leather. It feels like it's a very nice tumbled leather. Now the other difference here to note is going to be the inner. So the inner here, as you can see, is a neoprene, and they're both neoprene, right? And I'm talking about this cuff area, but on the Bred it's actually not the same. It has a textured inner, so as you can see here, it has like a textile feel to it, and it's not so much of a smooth neoprene as the Royal, the Hyper Royal version, where it's a smooth kind of like silky kind of feel, and the other one definitely has that kind of like textile breathability kind of feel to it, like a more of a meshy fabric kind of style. The other thing that you're going to notice about the paneling is that the rear panels are different. Now here's what I'm talking about. If I can just get my camera to focus for a second here. Alright, so now if you notice the back panels, and if I get real close here and let the camera zoom, you'll notice that on the Bred pair it's actually tumbled. On the Royal pair there's no tumbling, it's actually smooth. They've actually kind of reversed the panels. Now on the Royal you'll notice there is no tumbling, obviously. So that's kind of what they did with these two shoes, man. They actually took them and kind of reversed the leathers. It's kind of weird. They took the Royal and made it so that the black panels are basically tumbled, and on the Bred pair they're not tumbled, but vice versa on the actual colored panels on the rear of the shoe and on the heel of the shoe. kind of crazy. I mean, it does give you a little bit of variation, and it's something that, like, it's kind of cool that they didn't just kind of stick you with the same materials on each. But I will say, if I had to choose between the two, I definitely like the tumbling throughout. I don't really care so much that the tumbling's on the colored part, because I like the colored panels to stick out, but for the most part, I definitely like the tumbling on the upper of the shoe here. It's very dope. The toe box leather tumbling here that runs across the front of the toe box, and it is a very nice leather. It's very plush, right? Whereas here on the Breds, it's not the same. Obviously, you can see here it's not as tumbled at all. It's actually just a kind of a smooth leather. Another difference actually that I noticed was in the stitching itself. So if you look real close, it almost looks like the stitching on the Royal is a little bit thicker than the stitching on the Bred. And actually, the holes are punched a little bit more spaced apart, just slightly. But they're very similar shoes. The color blocking's dope. You can't go wrong with either of them because they're both obviously really solid and highly sought after. The Jordan 1s are like coveted, and this is basically as close as, this is a poor man Jordan 1, basically, you know what I'm saying? You can't go wrong with these. You're paying like half the price for some fire. And you know, they released like what, 2016, 2017, something like that, 2018. So I mean, you're gonna wait another probably 5 years, 3, 4, 5 years for them, the high tops to come out. So I mean, in the meantime, man, can't go wrong with these. It doesn't matter really if you're a Bred or a Royal, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't let that discourage you, because right now we're living in a great time, and basically they're dropping grails because it Corona. You know what I'm saying? People are bored, and not only that, but it's like there's nothing else to do. Might as well collect your favorite shoes so that when we can walk around again, we can stun on mans. So yeah, folks, as I said before, the main differences are the tumbling and non-tumbling of the leather panels. And yeah, these are creased because I wore them already. The perforation holes on the Royals are also a little bit bigger than the ones on the Breds. The Breds are a little bit of a smaller hole, but yeah, in general, I can say I feel like the Bred shoe is a little bit of a softer shoe. Even though it might not look so, it's a softer shoe. I just think it's less, they use slightly less thick fabric, so I think it's just a softer shoe. The Royal seems to be a much more stiff shoe. It's a lot harder. I can feel the fact that there's a little bit more tough materials, or there's a little bit thicker leather on this, and that's helping it give it more of a stiff feel to it. But in general, like, I don't know if you can see right here, right? There's like this panel. Let's look at this heel panel. It's super thick. Like it's a very thick cut that you can see there, right? It's not as thick as the Royals is. The Royals is definitely a lot more of a thick cut, and in general the shoe I feel like is just a little bit more well built. And as I said, you have the smooth neoprene upper as opposed to the textured textile upper. But yeah, the toe boxes and the eyelet stays are basically the main differences in these, man. But they're both super dope. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you guys think, oh, and by the way, yeah, it's kind of biased. I put laces on Breds already, and I ain't lace up the other ones, but it is what it is. I ain't got no blue laces yet, and Foot Locker's closed. I might just gotta order them online, but you know, I ain't taking these off because I already put them on. So that's basically the differences between the two shoes. Let me know which one you guys think are harder. Which one do you rock? I personally, to tell you the truth, like the Royals just a little bit better. They hit just a little bit harder on foot, to be honest, but I mean, I can't complain either way. I'm just super blessed to have both in hand and to be able to review them for you guys. Let me know if you guys would like to see any other reviews or what other shoes you guys would like to have me review, and I will definitely do my best to get those done for you guys. But for the most part, yeah, man. And yeah, these soles are dirty. I wore them. These are ones you beat up, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? I only get so many shoes for myself, and these are cheap enough where I can actually keep them. So luckily I have both pairs. But do you guys think the Breds are better, or do you think that the Royals are better? Let me know in the comment section. I personally, as I said, think the Royals are a little bit harder, but it is what it is. And you got that tumbled look, man. Shit, I gotta get some blue laces, doggy. But it is what it is, man. Romeo the Retro got back with another one, and I will see you guys soon, man. I'm about to drop drop that Carmine comparison because I got a pair of the old Carmines. I don't know if I'm getting a new one, so make sure you guys look out for that, and you guys can check out each individual review for these shoes as I'll be dropping them very shortly. If you guys like this video, hit the like and subscribe button, and let me know if you guys think that this Bred version is better than the 2020, or this Royal version is better than the 2020 Royal, which also has its own deals in its leather and stuff like that, and it has different color blocking. So two awesome shoes, two really dope colorways, and I did put my own red laces on this, so you can't be biased in the colorway. These might pop a little bit more, and I have undes'd both of these. I haven't worn these out like I wore these. I took these for a nice long walk, the Breds already, but I have yet to take the Royals for a nice walk. Maybe they'll feel a little bit different once they break in. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Probably throw some blue laces on here, by the way, and I do like how this version has the black outsole as opposed to the red outsole or the colored outsole, because I just don't, this thing's gonna get dirty no matter what, and this is not gonna be so red for super long time. So hit that like and subscribe button. Back with another one.